sir.
Excellent. Thank you.
Um, I would like to start off with something that was kind of itching at my brain for about a year, I have to admit. Um,
Favorite
whenever
pudding? Oh,
favorite pudding is always itching at the back of my brain, but I can satisfy that on a daily basis.
okay. Fair enough.
Um, so you're bringing a brand new character into an existing universe this past year. I wanted to know what it was like. What did you feel was the most interesting part about bringing to life a character that is in a pre-existing world?
Well, acceptance. You want to be accepted not just by the characters that you're playing with, but by the audience that has a fidelity to those characters and a fidelity to characters that are no longer in the ensemble that you're sort of replacing. And those were big shoes to fill. I came in using the metaphor that I want my voice to blend into this chorus. I'm not a soloist. I I want to find the harmony here, and I want to make the sound richer for my presence and not distracting at all. So that my goal was to make it seem seamless. That everybody was like, "Wait, was he part of the old show?" Or no, he wasn't. Right? No, he wasn't. And I thought we were uniformly successful in that regard. I was really gratified in front and behind the camera to feel so accepted. But I came in humble, and I came in grateful, and I came in reverential to the work that they had done and to the show that they had created. And I wanted to be part of that show. I wasn't looking to reinvent the wheel. But the show needed to get reinvented just by the mere fact that it lost 1.5 key players and picked up 2 new players. And it's been 8 years since we saw that group. And the world has changed a lot. So how do we reflect all of that and not betray any of the legacy? That became the crucible challenge for season 1 and 2. And I think we did a good job.
I would have to agree with that for sure. Now that we've got this foundation, you've had the first season to kind of really establish who Harry is. What are you most excited about in exploring this character in the second season?
Well, if first season is fish out of water, new guy at school, neophyte on the job, then sophomore year is let me show you what I can do. Give me the keys to the car. I'm ready. It's come on, you can trust me. It's the almost over enthusiasm getting you into trouble as opposed to your naivete getting you into trouble. So that was one aspect. The other aspect is to build on the level of trust established in the first season, significantly with Sophie's character. She comes to Harry early on and says, you provide a very interesting thing. You provide objectivity on me in a way that I can't get it from these other people. And I'm starting to think I might need it. And that rare disclosure of vulnerability, I think may be more significant in getting Harry to come join the team again than his desire to put on costumes and speak in funny voices, which is significant. And that relationship becomes anchoring for the Sophie character, because this is the season we really delve deep into her backstory and start peeling at those layers of the onion that have been shrouded in mystery. And I got a front row seat for all of it.
Well, not just a front row. You're coming back to direct a couple of episodes, right?
I directed 2, and I actually wrote one. I joined the writing staff as well. So I'm a virus that will infect every aspect if you let me in. I'm a Trojan horse, and I carry with me all sorts of ambitions inside my belly that, if left unchecked, will become systemic outbreak.
One thing that I always wondered, whenever you have a group of people that have been doing this for the amount of time that you have, and there's shifting roles. You all have the parts that you're playing. Some of you may direct certain episodes. Some of you may direct others. How does that dynamic work? Is there anything that you found to be kind of, I didn't expect that this would work in this particular way, or just kind of surprised you?
The gamble isn't, will an actor make a good director? The gamble is, in the course of a season, pulling an actor out of an episode, will that shortchange the performance in the episodes before, during, and after? Because the prep week, the shooting week, and the post-production week are a brain suck when you're directing. So can the narrative sustain them being lighter, or can the individual sustain pulling double duty for the duration? Beth and I are both marathon runners. We both like multitasking. That wasn't the issue. The issue was whether or not uh, the ensemble likes seeing people go from labor to management, and back again. And so I think that the credit really goes to Gina, to Christian, to Elise, and to Aldous for accepting the two of us in a slightly schizophrenic role occasionally, and getting on board with what we're trying to do, which is to have the sense of continuity and ownership stylistically be really insular, so that the shows really reflect a kind of patina of quality that's consistent. And the more we want to bring in other people, we want to bring in fresh voices, but we want them to understand this very specific tone that doesn't offer a lot of leeway in its execution. I learned a lot in trying to figure out what I could push up against and what I could stretch. It wants to live right where it wants to live.
Now that you've been a part of this, I mean, you've worked with other individuals outside of this project, but now that you've really kind of immersed yourself into this and gotten to know everybody really well. I asked a question to the other individuals I spoke with today that I'll ask to you. Who do you think in the cast closest resembles the character that they play in the show?
Well, there's a couple I dismiss immediately, which is significant, I guess. But I'm tempted to say it's Christian, although
that's 3 for 3 right there.
But I say that slightly knowing that that's not true. Because what has been revealed to me, and I don't mind telling, I say it to everybody, Christian and I got to spend 4 wonderful years working together side by side on The Librarians. And during that time, I got to see a side of Christian that any Elliot Spencer fan never got to see, which is that he's one of the funniest guys I've ever met. His comic timing is impeccably good. And there's so much more talent in that man than being an action actor. And so he's not Elliot Spencer, really. He's a very multifaceted and extremely multi-talented guy. But there's no getting away that he has a certain persona that's one for one, maybe more so than the rest of us.
Well, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me and answer some questions that we would not normally have the answers to. And I really hope the second season goes fantastic.
I was so excited to talk pudding. I thought this was going to be so different.
We like to be surprising. Well, what's your favorite flavor?
Well, I like tapioca pudding.
That's usually what I say. I've switched to butterscotch because, like I said, it makes people think I'm 70 when I say tapioca.
Little known fact about tapioca pudding: it stimulates breast milk production. Both when my wife and my ex-wife were both pregnant, that was recommended. So there was a lot of tapioca pudding around that time, and that's when I developed my taste for it.
Thank you again so much.
Stick that in your pudding fact file.
Well, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, good sir.
Thank you very much. Likewise, sir. Great talking to you.
It's true. Everybody loves pudding.